this team operates because we really do things kind of together.
Flooring in the chicken coop, which is made out of the wood chips that are up there in a pile. And we all work together to do that. And also the other thing I wanted to say about community is if it's your day and you cannot be here to do the chickens, someone always picks up for a person that's on vacation or, can't come for some reason.
I have to confess that one of the reasons I came here was that they had chickens, which meant that they were pretty country and I wasn't moving to the city. This was countrified living that would let me have chickens again. I had them before.
When we started out with chickens several years ago, we started out with one breed, the Buff Orpingtons. These are the sort of reddish beige ones. And because they all look the same, we called them Mildred. But then we decided this year to add some different breeds. So we got 2 more Buff Orpingtons, but we also got 2 of the Lavender Orpingtons. These are the sort of silvery colored ones. And then 2 of barred Plymouth Rocks. These are the black ones with just bars on them. And then 2 of the speckled Sussex. This is one here in the corner.
And how was the introduction of the new, are they called pullets? Pullets. Okay, and that just means a baby.
Well,
They're
it
not
means not a
chicks.
chick, but
They're
like
bigger.
adolescent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Teenagers.
And how was the introduction of the new pullets with the existing chickens?
Well,
Whoa.
the pullets all stayed by themselves, and the big chickens, the older ones, were a little bit nasty, I guess.
The young ones were in a crate inside the coop, and they got to hear everybody got to acclimatize. I think it was 5 days before we let them out.
All of them lay brown eggs and different shades of brown. We selected them for laying, first of all. They're good layers, all of them. Also, we preferred ones that were docile, relatively docile, so they're much easier to handle. And we wanted them relatively quiet because the hen house is near some of the homes. And we don't have any roosters for that reason. They make too much noise. So heat and cold. We needed breeds that would be able to tolerate both heat and cold. And these do pretty well. In the summer, when it gets up into the 90s, we put a little air conditioner in their hen house. And in the winter, we have a heat lamp that keeps the hen house above freezing. Particularly when it gets down into the teens, that's pretty cold for them to. Their feet are sensitive more. This speckled Sussex has dug a hole to lay in the dust bowl. It helps keep them cool. But apparently the other ones want in, so they're starting to peck at her. And now she's gotten up because she's had enough. So, yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Usually, 3 or 4 of them make them in the corners of the hen yard, and there she is getting down there again. It's also a way of, believe it or not, cleaning their feathers, is my understanding. It's like a dust bath.
Those of us who have grandkids, they really love the chickens. So they are kind of like pets because they're kind of entertainment for the grandkids. We bring them in, they feed the chickens, and the new ones aren't as docile yet as the Buff Orpingtons, the ones we had before, and those you can pet and they won't get upset or anything. And some of them, they'll come up and sit on your feet. They're the older ones, but the newer ones are just not used to. I mean, now they know, they associate us with food.
Their primary food is a commercial mix of seeds that we get from a local farmer, and they're in the bowls here. whoever is taking care of them on a given day brings them some treats in the morning when they set things up. They usually bring a few things like maybe oatmeal in the winter. They usually like oatmeal. They like any kind of greens, fruits, apples they love, but they cannot eat the seeds. Those are poisonous. They cannot eat avocado. Most vegetables they can eat. You have to be careful of the eyes of the potato if you give them potato. And they love things they shouldn't have, like bits of Cheerios, that kind of thing. And we do give them a very little bit of that, but that's not a regular diet, food on their diet. As you can see, we've got watermelon rinds here. They love to peck at those. The summertime is great. They love the corn on the cob. They have a lot of that, and all kinds of fruits and vegetables from the garden. We have a bucket up near the garden that is for chicken scraps, and the members of the village put different kinds of fruits and vegetables in there throughout the day, and then we distribute them to them. They also love just handfuls of clover and grass and other kinds of weeds. Insects, bugs of all kinds. We find slugs periodically after a rain and bring those in for them. So they get quite a variety of foods. They can't have things like chocolate, anything salty. Processed foods, other than a few Cheerios now and then, that's not healthy for them.
How do fresh eggs taste compared to eggs from the supermarket? Are they different?
Oh yeah,
Much different.
much different.
Much more
Don't you think?
flavorful and yellow, much more yellow, orangey yellow. They're very delicious.
Wash the eggs by default. That's not something that's done. So you might get a feather or two on the surface of the shell, but there's a whole discussion. In Europe, they don't wash eggs. In America, we do wash eggs before we sell them commercially. We go the European method and say, this is better preservation than washing all the coating off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then
And then we've got more there.
I don't want to spill them.
Nice.
7 today.
Now, how many are we getting per day from a dozen chickens?
6 to 9,
6
maybe?
to 9.
6 to 9. Okay. And then what happens to the eggs?
We distribute them to people at Shepherd Village. Very amusing.
Why's that?
They're just cute.
Just listen to them. They're funny. Their sound is funny.
And after a while, you can figure out who's making what noise. This is
whole-
Fort Knox.
Yeah.
Compared to most chicken houses, this is Fort Knox.
And foxes would be a concern? Or
Yeah,
all
but
sorts
they
of things.
haven't- I
I mean-
saw one once, like sitting on the other side of the fence, but he was just sitting there, and the chickens were looking at him, and that's the only time, one time, and it was a young fox.
Have-
And when he
Chicken
saw me,
hawks.
chicken? Okay, so birds will come in and
Yeah,
shoot them up.
they can come in and
But
that's why they have the roof
yeah, that's
over
why.
top.
Hens put themselves to bed, in actuality. They usually start trotting in as it starts close to darkness. But we close and lock the little hatch door, and even though the whole hen yard is locked up, it's just a safety feature, so that, because we do have quite a few critters around here at night, foxes, raccoons, etc. So we always lock them in at night, but they take themselves to bed. They put themselves to bed.